when you're testing models, I'm gonna tell you this because it's literally the most important test you can have on any models, okay? This that you are about to see is the most important test you can have on Laravel models, is literally testing the two-array method, okay? The two-array method gives you so much stuff or so much important information about your model that you would be surprised. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is type, I'm going to use the user factory, which I hopefully have, just like that. And then I'm going to call factory create. And I kind of want a fresh thing coming out of the database. So I'm going to just simply type fresh at the end. Okay, then something I always do, it's simply type this. I expect my user, or basically the keys of my two array. I need to basically do this. What I want to test exactly is that the keys are exactly the ones I want. So I'm going to type, instead of to have keys, I'm going to say I expect the keys to be these ones, in exactly these ones, okay? So something I'm noticing here is that I just added a field, for example, call it stream, and that field is appearing at the end of my database row. So allow me to basically understand that I just forgot, for example, to go here and put what exactly I want this column, okay? So this is just one example of how powerful, the two-array method can be. It can give you exactly the order of columns you should have in your database, which is very powerful. The second thing this two-array allows you to do is that if you were to add something to this user model, and that something should be, hidden, let's, for example, assume something like the name, you can literally add it to the hidden array. And basically now, this will basically tell me, oh, the array, the name used to be public, but it's not public anymore. So if I go to my user test, I acknowledge that, yeah, actually, I don't want the name to be public, so I'm going to just remove it. So I feel like this test is so powerful. Now, a test that I always create for my enums, because they eventually will end up being using on the front end, is to test the label of this stuff. So typically my enums always have, they will have a bunch of methods, because methods on enums are so powerful, like literally so powerful. Now I'm using them literally all the time now in Laravel, just literally put a bunch of methods on my enums. Because you can literally do stuff like this, like offer status, get me the draft status, label, for example, which is insanely powerful. So something I will do here is literally just create a method that will determine the label of my current enum. So I always do this because I just know that this stuff will end up being used on my front end. All right, so we now have a label method, which we know that we are going to end up using somewhere. What we can do here is just literally have a test for this. So I'm going to go into my enums. And typically what I do is that I don't actually test the value of that label. I like to write something that always goes like this. All cases have a label, basically. Okay, collect all the cases. And for each one of those cases, which will be an offer status, I basically expect the label to be a string. This will work. And I feel we should be good, actually. And we are. We have 100% test coverage, and this method in particular is being tested. So potentially, typically that should not happen, by the way. That should not happen with PHP Stan. But in case you don't use PHP Stan, just check how powerful this test can be. I'm going to go to my offer status, and I'm going to remove, for example, one label right here. And suddenly I have a test failing, just saying that we have an unhandled match case, which is the shared one. And this is happening because we now are testing that each one of those cases have a label. So this is like how powerful this test can be. A simple test, 3 lines, and you are literally testing like that every single match case have a label, which is, I think, it's very powerful. Now, one last thing I want to do here is that this action in particular, call it publishing an offer, it masters all the business logic of publishing an offer. So you want to use that as well when you are creating an offer, especially an offer with the status published. So something you can do, and this is why testing is so powerful. Just check this out. I'm going to come here and inject this little publish offer right here. So now I can use this action, okay? I can literally use this action. So what we can do is encapsulate this within a DB transaction, just like that, and do the following. First of all, create the job offer, just like that. Literally, just type this, publish offer, handle the given offer. So basically, reusing the logic we already have to publishing an offer if the status actually matches that. So I actually want to encapsulate this within a match statement. So if the status is published, then I want to actually publish the offer using my own logic on my own action. And hopefully, this is why testing is so powerful. And hopefully, I still have a passing test suite. So fingers crossed, okay? Fingers crossed. All right, you guys ready? Clear my terminal. Bam, bam, bam. Big unveil. And we have a passing test suite. Did you guys saw like the amount of refactor we have done? And suddenly we still have a passing test suite. It's so cool. It's literally so cool. We literally refactored the process of publishing an offer immediately when we create one to reuse an action we already have created, which will potentially sending emails and whatever. And we still have a passing test suite. So this is the moment where we acknowledge that your test suite really gives you confidence, which is what I feel when I look at this test suite, is that this test suite gives me confidence. And this is also why you don't want to use mocks. Because if we were to use mocks on this stuff, we would have basically a failing test suite right now. Just imagine this. If we would have here stuff like, on this particular test call, it creates an offer, set status to published. If we would have here, you know, create offer and then mock and expect receive, you know, handle with whatever, basically this test right here would fail now. And it's still passing thanks to the fact that we are not using mocks. What do you guys think about this?